Grand opening, grand closing. God dang your man ego. Crack the case open again. I got some updates for you. I've already reported, and I was the very first to report that Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul fight may be in limbo, and Netflix and Jake Paul, they're exploring potentially other options to replace Tank. One of those options that I mentioned to you would be Ryan Garcia. But we now know that is finito. Ryan Garcia will not be the replacement. And I'll show you the proof of why I say that in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, boxing just can't seem to get it right, in my opinion. Boxing has been trash lately. Trash. Inside a ditch, just playing. It's been bad. You got Floyd Schofield pulling out with them little mosquito bites, hand injury. That was on the upcoming Ortiz-Lubin card. I like the fight Ortiz-Lubin, but I haven't really seen much promotion behind it. Fundora got injured, so the Keith Thurman fight. Not that many fights in general. And then now Tank versus Jake Paul might share a similar fate. And who knows? They're talking about pushing the fight. Jake Paul still fighting, but pushing it to December. But now we know Ryan won't be the person. Why do I say that? I'm glad you asked.
What's up, guys? Happy Saturday. So I wake up to calls from reporters asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. Let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul...
Like, bro, he just said right off rip. Let me just tell you why this fight not finna happen.
Happy Saturday. So I wake up to calls from reporters asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. Let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia's probably going to go on a rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN. You have a contract with Golden Boy. It just doesn't happen that way. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you Saturday for Virgil Ortiz. But again, Ryan Garcia's next fight will be announced by me, who he's fighting, and when he's fighting next. See you guys.
Boom. De La Hoya just told you. I'll do the announcing. I'm in charge of that. So if you didn't hear from me, basically, don't believe it. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe the hype. So he's already telling you. He's like, Jake Paul fight on Netflix. My guy fight on DAZN, and he's contracted to me. We didn't authorize it. Now, it shows that there's still potentially friction between Oscar and De La Hoya, because he's talking about Ryan will probably say that I'm holding him back and preventing him from making money, which would infer and suggest that Ryan would be upset with that. It would suggest that Ryan Garcia has kind of a mind of his own and his own plan. And if De La Hoya doesn't allow him to fight and he's under contract, then Ryan may disagree with that and complain about it. So the Golden Boy Ryan beef is far from over, in my opinion. You never really see recent Ryan Garcia, Oscar, like in the same place or like pictures together. In addition to that, right after, like, I want to say like an hour or so after De La Hoya made that video, all of a sudden, so De La Hoya is making a video saying Ryan and Jake Paul has not happened. Cancel that whole idea. He just told you that. And then very shortly after that, all of a sudden, a boxing reporter puts this out. Breaking news from Mike Coppinger, Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia. And it says, Ryan Garcia, Mario Barrios closing in on a deal for a WBC fight in the first quarter of 2026, sources tell The Ring. Officials from Ryan Garcia's promotion, Golden Boy, and PBC have been exchanging contracts per sources. Somebody said, how is he getting a title shot off of a loss? That person clearly does not know boxing, because that has happened several times where somebody got a loss. You guys have to understand, all losses are not equal in boxing. Some people lose, but they lose with some grace, like Sean Porter. Sean Porter had some losses, but they weren't like hugely embarrassing, like Keith Thurman. Some people even said they felt Sean Porter beat Keith Thurman, right? So you can't compare that loss to Broner versus Maidana. That's a more embarrassing loss and humiliating loss based on who Broner was. Maidana, I think, was the underdog, and it was unexpected by a lot of people. Or Anthony Joshua, meet with me, it's mad. Yeah, mate. Right? When he lost to Andy Ruiz, different severity. Ryan lost to Rolly. Yes, it was largely outside of the knockdown. It was largely uneventful as a fight. Not really too much was happening. Rolly did it, though, as an underdog, caused the upset. I ain't even mad at it. But what I'm saying is, it wasn't like, I don't know what Ryan was on. He didn't really throw much. And it just wasn't a scintillating fight. We'll just put it that way. I think they said they combined for an all-time low amount of punches. That was one of the fights, back-to-back fights. Canelo Skull the next day. Fatal Fury had a couple fights like that with Devin. So, I don't know. They were just all bad fights to me. But anywho, that's the latest. Ryan Garcia is not going to be Jake Paul's replacement opponent. And as far as will the Tank fight get shuffled or canceled, I mean, you be the judge. Boom. So this is a statement from MVP, Jake Paul's company, statement from Most Valuable Promotions. MVP immediately initiated an investigation upon learning of the civil lawsuit filed against Gervonta Davis in Miami-Dade County the day before Halloween. At this time, we are gathering information and reviewing the details to ensure any decision we make is thoroughly vetted. We unequivocally condemn any form of and are committed to handling this matter with diligence and respect for all involved. We will make a determination on the next steps once we have completed our review and consulted with the appropriate parties. Until then, we will not be commenting further. MVP promotion from Puerto Rico. Now, say what you want and say what you will. This doesn't sound good. This sounds like a job that puts the employee like on suspension while they investigate. They're like, yeah, so you technically haven't been fired, but we got to investigate this customer, accusation or whatever the customer or whatever is leveraged against you. So we need to suspend you. You can't come to work pending our investigation. I feel like more often than not in those situations, like I've worked closely, I've been management and worked with HR. More than likely when those situations occur and they suspend you from work pending investigation, usually on the back end, HR is finalizing, they're just crossing their T's, dotting their I's, and finalizing your exit, your release. And from what I've seen in those situations, is over. Like you're pretty much a lot of times getting canned. And, I guess occasionally maybe it doesn't happen if new evidence comes up. But the bottom line is the Tank situation is pretty straightforward. Tank has had legal problems for here, here, and here. Now he has another legal problem weeks before the fight. I don't know how the market has reacted because it's kind of a weird fight, Jake Paul and Tank. And I guess Tank in press releases and press conferences or whatever seemed a little bit unenthused and talking about retirement, stuff like that. So I don't know if that helped the promotion. So what the situation we're in now is the fact that Tank Davis has an accusation, and it's unfortunate, but whatever they tell you is a lie. It's pretty much guilty until proven innocent. And then if you have a jacket or past offenses, people automatically assume the worst. And in these cases, sometimes these businesses and corporations, rather than make a misstep, they'll rather just cut ties and don't have to be bothered with it at all. So this is my own personal opinion of what's to come, but it don't look promising to me. Either way, I will update y'all and let you know what the full conclusion is, but it just seems like too much heat. And like in these occurrences, as you get close to the fight, it should pretty much crescendo. It should be going in this way. As you get closer, ticket prices, you fluctuate them depending on the demand, blah, blah, blah. Customers start, okay, we're getting close to the event. I can get the time off work. You know what I mean? People, their anticipation rises. But in a situation like this is a major setback because you have somebody who has these wicked allegations, heinous acts that they're saying one of the members of the main event did. Whether it's true or not, you either A, say, we don't believe her and we're just going to push through with the event and take the potential backlash from the public in that regard. And we don't know how the public's going to respond because some people would be like, oh, Netflix supports violence and Netflix supports DV. So you could either do that, or what a lot of companies are going to do is, this is too much heat. This is not our beef. So we don't want no parts of it. We don't want nothing to do with it. So to me, it sounds like behind the scenes, they're more so possibly exploring other options. And if they can stamp something else and get something else going, then they'll probably likely go into that, because this is just major pushback to an event that you're going to promote. And then like it's kind of common sense what I'm saying. But if the response was already kind of maybe mild and some people were indifferent on this fight, and then on top of that, you got accusations, then you almost should cut your losses in a lot of these situations. That's what I feel. I'm not Jake Paul. I'm not Netflix. We'll see how it plays out. I'll report whatever the outcome is. But from my experience in these situations, not good with we investigating and all that type of stuff, because reportedly they've already made offers to different people. So why would you be doing that, making offers to other people, if you wanted to preserve the fight, or you're giving Tank the benefit of the doubt? And again, in America, it's pretty much guilty until proven innocent. So even though Tank hasn't been charged criminally from the knowledge I have, and he hasn't went to court, just sometimes these companies assume rather not be involved. Like, man, we just don't want no parts of it. We don't want nothing to do with anything that's going to mess up our bread. And from a business perspective, you got to understand that response, because if somebody else, let's say Kanye West or whatever, was going to be on my show, or I did a podcast or something, I can't allow Kanye saying crazy stuff about whatever to hurt my channel. You know what I mean? Like, if I can't control what he's going to say, and he's going to say some stuff that get my channel condemned, then that's going to be a problem. Because if that happens, he goes on with his life, and then my channel is kaput, because it got flagged for all this hate speech and whatever else. You know what I mean? So kind of a slippery slope, but it is what it is. But it's not going to be Ryan Garcia. And as far as the Tank fight, we'll see what happens. But it looks like it's in limbo and Jeopardy. Peace. Subscribe. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new. But even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.